He's setting it up. We're good? Oh,
You're on.
awesome. Okay. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining, whether in person or virtual. My name is Hiba Anis, and I am the president of the Student Government Association here at Elmhurst University. Our students, as well as the student representatives of SGA, would like to welcome you all to our Founders Day celebrations. Since my freshman year, I have heard nothing but excitement for this day, and it is truly an honor to be part of such a historical event. Throughout today's events, students have celebrated the importance of our history and learned how the core of Elmhurst has stayed true for 150 years. While we have stayed tied to what made us, we have grown and maintained an environment that provides all of us with a safe, welcoming, and inclusive atmosphere. Every day, students go through the Elmhurst experience, which continues to provide the avenues necessary for each student to reach their full potential. Today, we not only celebrate, but we are reminded of what 150 years of strength, courage, and love have created. We have the amazing opportunity to benefit from what those before us made. And as we look back to our past, let us thank our founders, those who made Elmhurst what it is today, home. It has been an honor to not only be part of today's celebrations, but the events leading up to it, such as freshman orientation, transitioning from a college to a university, and our 150th homecoming. The presence of joy and happiness has been flooding our campus, reminding students every day the true meaning of being part of the Blue Jay family. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Professor Shaheen Wolf, an active Elmhurst alumna and parent, and chair of the Department of Business and Economics. Thank you.
Thank you, Hiba. Welcome. It's an honor to be a part of this celebration. My relationship with Elmhurst University is long and somewhat complicated, but in a really good way. As an Elmhurst student, I earned a Founder's Medal and met my husband. As an alumna, I served on the alumni board and was its president. I'm the proud parent of 2 Elmhurst graduates, and I've been a faculty member for 20 plus years. When we say Elmhurst University, what do we really mean? On paper, we are a collection of individuals, faculty, staff, administrators, trustees, students, pursuing a common goal, namely our mission. But that doesn't quite do us justice. It is the spirit with which we, the people of this institution, pursue our common goal that makes Elmhurst special and, quite frankly, ensures its continuity and longevity. This spirit isn't the public activities that we engage in. Instead, we are defined by all those things we do when no one is looking. It is the renewal we feel at the beginning of each academic year, the Herculean lift to move online and do it really well. The dedication to teaching students how to think, not what to think. The desire to address equity and inclusion in a truly meaningful way. The smiles and sense of satisfaction at graduation when we see a student that we knew particularly well cross the stage, and the excitement when a former student reaches out to share a success or milestone in their lives. Aside from being a parent, there is nothing more rewarding than being a teacher. I join many of my colleagues who consider teaching a calling. Collectively, faculty take great satisfaction, along with Elmhurst's dedicated staff, in supporting our students' journeys. I'm proud to be a product of this Elmhurst spirit, appreciative as a parent of 2 Elmhurst graduates, and honored to be a part of Elmhurst University's future. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce our Honorable Mayor, Scott Levin.
Thank you, everyone, and on behalf of the city, it's my pleasure to congratulate Elmhurst University on its sesquicentennial. Got past that word. You know, the university and the city have had a very symbiotic relationship. It wasn't too long ago, maybe 35 years ago, that the city celebrated its sesquicentennial. And we've grown up together. We support each other. We have historic bonds with each other. In my role as an elected official, I've met a lot of students here at Elmhurst University. I've been invited to lecture a couple times in some classes, and I've been very impressed by the students. They're not only motivated and smart, they really seem to care about the world. And I think I just ran into one of them, Scotty Williams, who I congratulated back in 2013 when he won the Gagliardi Trophy. So comes back to the university and renews what he learned here. The university is one of the things that makes our city great. I grew up in Evanston, which is a university town. When I moved to the western suburbs, I chose Elmhurst because I wanted to live in a university town. Well, I had to settle for a college town back then. But dreams do come true, and here we are. This institution itself has grown into something really amazing, and not many suburbs can lay claim to having their own university right in town. The university and the city continue to support each other. The university is one of our biggest employers. Very active relationship between the Chamber of Commerce and the university. Our immediate past president is Desiree Chen, who's of the Commerce, I should say, not the United States, who's the communications director here. We've had a lot of interns come through the chamber. I see interns who've grown up through the chamber university program working as real live adults around town. The students here support our businesses. We even have a shared athletic field between the Park District and the university. We have a university commission with representatives from the city and from the university. And what's really wonderful about that is we didn't create it to solve problems. We weren't having any problems. We created it to continue to build upon the strong relationship between the city and the university. The university presidents and mayors have a long tradition of working together. I like to think that President Ben Aiken and I have a good relationship even after the university's vintage baseball team beat the city's baseball team something like 30-15. I was a little disappointed the city manager said we had to throw that game because of the sesquicentennial, but it's all right. It's no problem there. So who knows what we'll see on the bicentennial? I won't be there. I've got other plans that night. But for those students who come back as alumni, I'm sure they will celebrate that event and see something really amazing on this campus and what's going on at this university. So on behalf of the university, we look forward to continuing our wonderful relationship with the university. Again, congratulations. I will have to leave to go to a city council meeting, but I will first introduce my friend and wonderful attorney, also alumni and president of the Board of Trustees, Ed Mumkus. And since there are now PhD programs, I'm asking Ed for an honorary PhD. All right? Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor Levin. And one of the prerequisites is there's a small spelling quiz on how to spell sesquicentennial that you got to pass first. Well, good evening, and it's great to see all of you here tonight, both in person and virtually. I hope that you have taken advantage of the activities that have been going on throughout the day on campus, and as well as those that are still yet to come. My name is Ed Mumkus, and I'm privileged to be the chair of the Board of Trustees. I want to convey greetings and best wishes from the board, which is comprised of many individuals who have contributed time, wisdom, and money in support of the university's mission. I hope that you all have the opportunity to thank the trustees that are here for their service. I'm a 1974 alum of the university, which was then Elmhurst College. I arrived as a freshman for the 71-72 academic year, and Elmhurst's centennial celebration had commenced in the prior year, even though December 6, 71 actually occurred in my first semester here. As a newly minted freshman, I really didn't realize how important an anniversary the centennial represented. However, there was a very clear sense at the time that Elmhurst was transitioning into a new future. The A.C. Buehler Library opened during my first semester, thus making Memorial Hall available eventually to house the nursing department. The Science Center had just opened actually 2 years earlier, and Kranz Hall still stood in the spot now occupied by Kranz Forum, which I understand some students refer to lovingly as the ashtray. So, of course, the Union is now known as the Frick Center, and we're standing in it. I don't mention these buildings out of any kind of nostalgia, but they are physical evidence of the constant change that results from our ever-widening circle of students. Alumni, faculty, donors, and other supporters. Our ever-widening circle is a direct outgrowth of the core values of the university. In particular, the two core values of community and social responsibility. I'm confident that these values will continue to guide our mission as Elmhurst looks to the exciting future. As has been the case in the past, it takes a lot of work and support by a broad range of people to accomplish this goal, and I want to personally thank all of those who contributed. And to the extent that you are able, I hope that you will support this mission with your contributions of time and treasure so that we can provide facilities and programs that foster the holistic development of our students. So, to commemorate the sesquicentennial, that's a QUI, by the way, Scott, our extremely talented communications team has created a great video that highlights the things that got Elmhurst University to where it is today and what new initiatives we're excited about. After the video, President Van Aken will have a few additional remarks and announcements. Thank you all for being here and participating.
The first chapter of this story is written in stone. It remains readable for anyone who takes a second to look skyward on the approach to the front door of Old Main. Halfway up the crenellated tower is an inscription. Pro Seminar der Deutschen E.V. Synod von N.A. Long before Elmhurst College became Elmhurst University, it was the proseminary of the German Evangelical Synod of the Northwest. It was established in 1871 to prepare farm boys and parsons' sons to become Midwestern ministers and educators. The inscription on Old Main is in German because that was the language of the church the boys had been called to serve. The faculty in Elmhurst's first year numbered exactly 1. The 24 students slept in one crowded attic. The daily schedule started with ringing bells at 5:30 and was filled with worship and study and music lessons, broken up by endless farm chores. For 150 years, Elmhurst has continued to honor the pioneering spirit of its founders. In 1930, Elmhurst admitted 46 women to the student body. During World War II, the college defied prejudices to admit 4 Japanese American students who had been relocated to internment camps. In 1951, Elmhurst admitted its first African American students and began welcoming international students. But while Elmhurst has transformed itself in profound ways, in other ways, it has remained remarkably true to its roots.
You have to have a set of core values and beliefs that you can base your programs on. And those core values have been with us for that entire period of time. And that's really, I think, what's enabled our persistence over this 150 years.
Elmhurst alumni Reinhold and H. Richard Niebuhr had a profound impact on the university and on the world. The brothers were among the preeminent American theologians of the 20th century, as their scholarly work helped shape the political and religious thinking of their time and beyond. An ever-widening circle is how H. Richard, the institution's 6th president, described the development of Elmhurst College in its early years.
One of the phrases that you'll hear a lot at Elmhurst is the ever-widening circle. And so it expands. Every time you get a new person into the community, what are they adding? What's their story? How can you make your mark here and be a part of the ever-widening circle?
Everybody has a place at this institution. Everyone has a story. Everyone has a voice, a spirit, not necessarily religion, a spirit. And that's the strength that I believe this institution brings.
I saw some of the famous people that had been on campus, like Martin Luther King Jr. and Muhammad Ali and some others, just to name a few. And I said, I would love to be a part of history like that.
Since the beginning, Elmhurst has been a place of transformation. In our diverse and inclusive community, students explore new interests and pursue their passions. They find out who they are and who they want to become.
Elmhurst is an institution that really fosters, from day one, I believe, the relationship between faculty and students. Engage students from the beginning, and we create that relationship that we want to be part of your academic life.
Everything's open to anybody on the campus, and I think that's really what a liberal arts institution should be about. All the opportunities you can take in or you can avail yourself of are there for you.
How the Elmhurst experience transforms students is they get involved in various things besides just their major area. If you get involved in something besides just your major area, it helps you be well-rounded, and it helps you see other perspectives.
I ran at Elmhurst. During that time, I studied abroad in 7 different countries. I think that really speaks to the Elmhurst experience.
That sense of confidence, self-respect, and ability to participate in the greater world are wonderful skills that get developed here at the university.
I know that so many of the alums that are in my life were there as a part of my most happy day of getting married, and on my saddest day when I had to bury my mother, they were there.
When I came here, I did not know where I belonged. And when I got here, I figured it out. And that's a very cool thing to do as a 19-year-old.
Our beginnings as an institution are based in faith, rooted in the Evangelical Reformed Church that now is the United Church of Christ. We've had a commitment to serving the greater good since the early days when Elmhurst trained ministers and teachers to serve a growing Midwestern community. Today, social responsibility is one of our core values. Our community is dedicated to making the world a better place.
We were taught from the beginning to care about your fellow students, to care about the college campus, to care about the larger community, and ultimately to care about the world. And I think that is a theme that has gone through 150 years.
My work within this space started when I was in Elmhurst, just being passionate about having justice for all, being aware of the fact that not everyone has the same journey.
Elmhurst College then decided to be the first college in the country to ask an optional question on the admissions application for students to identify within the LGBTQ+ community. I remember how big of a deal that seemed to everyone else but us here, because we'd been so accustomed to opening these doors and having these doors open to us. I came out when I was a sophomore. I was like, of course Elmhurst would do this. This is what we do. We care about knowing our students and knowing each other and creating safe spaces.
So it's now known as a place that is open on LGBT, on Muslim issues. 2 days after 9/11, the student government recognized our Muslim Student Association in the midst of all the hate that was going on in the nation.
At that moment in time, we were debating, what do we do? Do we move forward? Do we wait? And I think that's just a testament to the community that was present and we were surrounded by as an organization, as students who said, no, you will move forward, we'll be supportive, and we'll figure it out. And that's what happened.
Innovation is in our DNA. The pioneering spirit of our founders informs everything we do, from forward-looking academic programs to cutting-edge research.
I see us in nursing as being the first to do many things. We're leading the charge in being the first doctoral program. We're putting our programs online.
Elmhurst is a university, I think, that allows us to create, to bring opportunities. We are gonna give you something that is experiential, that you can live yourself, that you can evaluate for yourself, that something that is innovative.
Elsa was one of the first 6 programs in the country. The Elmhurst Learning and Success Academy, that's what ELSA is short for, and it's a post-secondary program for young adults with differing abilities to have an inclusive experience on campus.
We know that students are really interested in that ability to come up with their own idea and perhaps have their own business. And we were able to establish what's called the Accelerator program here.
The role of the entrepreneur in residence is to work one-on-one with the individual students. My job is to teach them how to anticipate change, how to teach them how to pivot if you hit a brick wall, and also really to reach out and to get help.
For 150 years, Elmhurst has been preparing students to step confidently into their first jobs and into lifetimes of achievement. Our students engage in hands-on learning through internships, real-world projects, and research experience. They graduate with experience, confidence, and a competitive edge.
The strength of that liberal arts education, coupled together with preparing students for their professional careers, with that sort of integrated curriculum that we have, and that we do it in a personalized and caring environment.
The Simulation Center takes everything that students are learning and it puts that hands-on element. And the good thing about that is it's a safe zone to learn.
We've got a great network of our former students that are out playing in the Chicagoland area and beyond. And they've made a name for themselves and really for us too.
I've had so many students been able to come out of this setting and go on to the professional world. And the producers who have hired them have told me those students are so prepared when they come out of Elmhurst University because they've already done all these professional things.
Now that could mean doing an internship for academic credit. That could mean doing a service learning opportunity. That could mean studying abroad. And the reason it's a part of the core curriculum is that it builds students' skill sets sort of outside of the classroom.
The students who bunked in the drafty attic of the proseminary might be amazed at today's park-like campus, the size of the faculty, the array of academic offerings, and the number of languages, cultures, and traditions represented in today's student body. But they might also recognize that this vastly transformed institution continues to do the same vital work it began 150 years ago of preparing young people to make a positive impact on a world in need of their talents.
This university has never been in a better position to serve its constituents and to continue to prosper.
We have so much to be thankful for and so much to celebrate in the success of all of our students, how they've graduated, how they've grown in their profession.
I'm very proud of the fact that I had the opportunity to spend a good portion of my life here, and I think during that time we left some pretty great footprints.
Today we have so many jobs that really require a cross-section of skills and knowledge, and I think that's where we have to really focus our efforts, being innovative in the programs that we do, and also always keeping an eye out for what's happening in the world around us.
One of my dreams for the next chapter, the next 150, is that Elmhurst remains connected to who Elmhurst is, that ever-widening circle, that circle continues to broaden as we look towards the next 150, look at our campus community and identify who doesn't have a seat at the table here, who is missing, who do we need to welcome in.
So I hope and dream that Elmhurst stays true to its roots and where it started, and looking forward, continues to build on this legacy of 150 years of diversity, inclusion.
And so I want to make sure that we continue to be at the forefront of our Blue Jays' lives and their minds to say, I'm raising the next Blue Jay, because they were that impactful to my life.
Just think what will happen with this institution when we grow up. Before I begin, I'd like to thank Hiba Nees, Shaheen Wolf, Mayor Scott Levin, and Ed Momkus for their wonderful words. I'd also like to thank the many people across campus who've worked so hard to make this celebration exciting and memorable. That includes the Office of the President, led by Molly Nesbo and her able assistants. Student Affairs, Chartwells, the Sesquicentennial Players, the Student Athletic Advisory Council, Special Events, Facilities, Marketing, Communication, Information Services, Advancement, my wife Annette, who always classes me up, and many more. Let's give everybody a round of applause. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us, whether you're here on campus or across the country or across the world. It's my privilege to be with you on this historic night as we celebrate the sesquicentennial anniversary of our founding in 1871. This is a momentous time at Elmhurst University, and we're here as a result of a strong and steady confluence of remarkable individuals, relationships, ideas, and ideals that have forged the path of our proud history. First, consider the greater Elmhurst community and our partners within that. Whether it be the City of Elmhurst, the Elmhurst Park District, the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce, the Elmhurst Hospital, the Elmhurst History and Art Museums, and our local neighbors and friends. They have provided a welcoming home and an invaluable opportunity for our university and its members. Consider the university's roots in the United Church of Christ and how they have inspired and guided us since our very inception, enabling us to fully live our mission, vision, and values. This institution has been blessed with trustees committed to stewardship of our precious resources. And the heart of all of this is our faculty and staff. Their collective work challenges lives, beginning with Inspector Kranz, who established this school and taught and guided young charges in a harsh prairie wilderness, which I know was very difficult to imagine at this particular time. And reaching in today, it is the knowledge, skills, and passion of our faculty and staff that have made Elmhurst University what it is today. And then there's the lifeblood of this beloved place, our students, both current and those who have preceded them and now bring us pride as alumni. It's our students who share the promise, energy, and eager minds with us. who let us into their lives to help them embrace theirs and our future. For 1.5 centuries, this institution has been educating an ever-widening circle with students with increasing and diverse interests and needs. Our success has come from our willingness to evolve with the world around us while staying true to our mission and values. At the time of our founding, we prepared students to become ministers and teachers. Today, we still prepare students to be ministers and teachers, but also data scientists, supply chain analysts, occupational therapists, jazz musicians, digital marketing specialists, and very soon, doctors of nursing practice. The life of service for those students who prepared to evolve have been part of our core values and our mission, serving the greater good and committing to fostering a welcoming, inclusive environment to which we learn, work, and live. On July 1st, 2020, we became Elmhurst University, a name that best describes this comprehensive institution of higher education that we've become, while blending the student-centered approach, liberal arts education, and the professional preparation that form the bedrock of what we have always been. As we look back on all that has been accomplished in the past 150 years and the momentum that has been building more recently, just imagine what we can accomplish in the future. The time for imagining is over. This is our time. This is our moment. This is when we take hold of our ambitious plans and make them a reality. Tonight, I have the privilege of announcing Elmhurst 150, the campaign for Elmhurst University, the public phase of the largest fundraising campaign in the university's history. Elmhurst 150 is a comprehensive campaign to raise $50 million to fund crucial opportunities and resources that will have a lasting impact on our current and future students, our faculty and staff, and our entire university. We have identified 4 major campaign goals and projects that need our support. The first project, with a fundraising goal of $12 million, is the Memorial Hall Health Sciences Initiative. Memorial Hall was built in 1922 as the campus library and has since become the longtime home of the Department of Nursing. The Health Sciences Initiative envisions an expanded and renovated Memorial Hall that will be a thriving hub for all of our health science programs, including nursing, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and more. The plan calls for adding over 22,000 square foot to this building in its new space for research and instruction, and will lead to exciting new synergies among these departments. Our second goal is to renovate our athletic and recreational spaces in ways that will strengthen the student experience and engage the community beyond campus. Your generosity is already evident in some of the improvements in Fagnall Hall and Langhorse Field, including new competition surfaces, tracks, and scoreboards. These will provide an upgraded experience for thousands of students, coaches, spectators, and community members. The third goal is to raise $30 million for the endowment and restricted funds. Growth in these 2 funds will support endowed faculty chairs, programs, and scholarships. These funds are essential for maintaining short-term liquidity while preserving the university's long-term financial stability. Our final goal is to raise $6 million to support the Elmhurst University Annual Fund, which contributes directly to our students' education through scholarships and operational and programmatic support. The annual fund enables Elmhurst to welcome a growing number of students with limited means but unlimited potential. The point of this campaign is to shape our future. Although this momentum has been a long time coming, I'm excited to tell you that significant gifts have been made during the quiet phase, which means we're well on our way to meeting our goal. To date, we've raised over $40 million, or 80% of our total goal. That amount, That amount derives from over 17,000 gifts received from more than 6,200 donors, who include alumni, faculty, staff, administrators, students, parents, trustees, friends, corporations, foundation, and government and other entities. While our goal is ambitious, we set it because we believe it's achievable and because it's what we need to lay a solid foundation for Elmhurst's future. By supporting this campaign, you will give more Elmhurst University students life-changing experiences. You will strengthen this remarkable institution for those who will follow. You will help us make history. With your generosity, we will expand our legacy of preparing students to contribute meaningfully to a world that needs their insights, knowledge, and promise, just as we have for the past 150 years. Thank you again for joining us this evening, but as importantly, for joining us on this next phase of our journey. It's now my pleasure to introduce Elmhurst trustee and alumnus, and importantly, fellow parent of an Elmhurst grad, the Dr. Reverend L. Bernard Jakes, who will give us a closing prayer. Dr. Jakes.
Thank you, Troy. Let us pray. God of mercy and grace, who guides time but is not affected by time, we pause to give thanks and ask for continued blessings. We are thankful that you are a God who operates in perpetual motion. Your perpetual motion has moved us from the beginning of this institution by Inspector Krantz and 14 students having exited a train and walked a short journey, to thousands who've departed trains, cars, buses, airplanes, bicycles, and even walking, where they can receive a quality education and a life experience. Your perpetual motion, oh God, has moved us from Elmhurst Pro Seminary to Elmhurst College and now Elmhurst University. Your perpetual motion has moved us from the prayer of the late, great 20th century theologian and alumnus Reinhold Niebuhr, Father, give us courage to change what must be altered, serenity to accept what cannot be helped, and the insight to know the one from the other, moving us to be the prayer Niebuhr offered. Your perpetual motion has moved us to be an institution where all can be one, where persons who identify as African Americans or American descendants of slaves, Latino or Latina, Arab, Asian, Jewish, Christian, Muslim, agnostic, atheist, LGBTQIA, non-binary, transgendered, Republican, Democrat, socialist, independent, White Sox fan or Cubs fan, where we can gather as a community to celebrate their individuality while learning from others who aren't as themselves. Your perpetual motion, oh God, has moved us to be an institution where our beloved faculty continues sowing seeds of knowledge into the lives of students, aiding and shaping their understanding while watching the seed bloom into beautiful bouquets of socially conscious, justice-seeking citizens. Your perpetual motion has moved us from the inaugural vision of Inspector Krantz to the actualization and celebration of the vision cast by our beloved President Troy Van Aken. Your perpetual motion, O God, is what keeps us moving, and for this and many other things unmentioned, we give you thanks. And as your movement is perpetual, we bow in humble submission to ask for continued blessings, blessings that Elmhurst University lives in action, which she has as her core values. We ask your continued blessings of challenging, confronting, and then changing us as board members, administrators, faculty, staff, and students, so that we can usher in your idea of how education, equity, inclusion, and justice should appear to the world. We ask for your continued blessings for Doctors Troy and Annette Van Aken. Lastly, we ask for your continued blessings on each of us. May we embody all you desire so that we may continue to be the light of prospect and possibility on Prospect Avenue and beyond, while being intentional on being an ever-widening, equitable, inclusive, justice-seeking circle. Hear our prayer, O Lord. Incline thine ear to us and grant us thy peace. Amen. I'm proud to now call to the stage our First Lady, and I am really proud to call her our First Lady, Dr. Annette Van Aken.
Well, they always give me the privilege of the toast, which is, I think, one of the most fun parts of the evening, because I get to toast this beloved university of ours. So if you all would, raise your glass. Raise a glass to Elmhurst University, the school that nurtures, connects, and leads us all here together tonight. Let us toast this transformative place, which spreads the light of knowledge and the warmth of high ideals for 150 years. Here's to blue skies, blue jays, and a bright soaring future. Cheers. Cheers. Now, in just about 15 minutes, we are going to have a light show that I'm told is spectacular. And I'd like you all to, I'd like to invite you all down. Either you can get your coats and join us outside on the mall. You can go out of these exits here on either side of this room, or you can watch it from the windows. But that will happen in about 15 minutes. Thank you.